Yo, what up? So 312 is coming up. Sean Strickland versus Dricus Plessis 2. And it is one of the most anticipated middleweight matchups possible. After the first fight, which was very controversial, a lot of people felt Sean Strickland won that fight. Honestly, I'm just glad he's getting another shot at the title like he deserves, because he narrowly lost the title. I think he could have won that fight, but looking at how much takedowns and everything that Du Plessis had, I could see where the judges were like, okay, this is justifiable enough to give it to DDP. That, and they probably wanted to set up Israel Adesanya versus DDP and get that one out of the way before Israel Adesanya is now on the skid he's on now. However, there's not a whole lot to compliment the card with. The co-main event is okay, but I'm going to be honest, the women's divisions are exciting when it's the contenders fighting, but once there's a title challenger, you know the current champion is most likely going to win, except for right now, Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. I think Kayla Harrison's going to smoke her, make it look easy, and then we're going to see her be a dominant champion just like Ronda Rousey was supposed to be. Well, Ronda Rousey was, but you always have that one champion, and then everybody else who's trying to come at her, and they're dispatching them like it's nothing. Zhang Weili, I think her biggest challenge is going to be that other fighter from China that she fought in UFC 300. I don't want to butcher that name out of pure respect, but that was the biggest threat to Zhang Weili in a while, besides Rose Namajunas, who got in her own head, and now she's in flyweight, in limbo. But like all these other fighters, like Jimmy Crute, he's the only one I really recognize on the undercard. And that's bad, because usually these UFC cards are supposed to be so stacked, but maybe they just had to fill it in. Or maybe the UFC really doesn't like Sean Strickland, but honestly, I doubt it, because he gets so much praise from the fans. And you know what? No matter what with Sean Strickland, whether you agree with what he's saying or not, part of me really appreciates the authenticity, because he's not trying to be someone he's not. He's not trying to sanitize his image at all. He's telling you who he is. He doesn't care. What are you going to do about it? He's the UFC champion. You going to fight him? Good luck. But I do think that there's a strong case that he won that first fight. Honestly, I thought he was going to win that first fight. But, like I said, you go back with the DDP and the moments that he had, it was like, okay, now looking back, it was a little closer than I anticipated, because maybe I was biasly on Sean Strickland's side, but now I have to see he's going to make some adjustments. And what's like the one adjustment that Sean Strickland can make to fight DDP that could probably guarantee him a victory? Because, he's probably going to want to take it into his own hands and get a finish, so that way that the judges can't do anything. Because that Paulo Costa decision was super tricky. I mean, that was the shadiest thing I've ever seen, because there's no way that Paulo Costa got a decision on the judges. Good for him for stepping up there, but I think Paulo Costa and his game is kind of dwindling down a little bit. Well, no. Understatement. It's dwindled down a lot, and he's got to really make a choice. Does he want to be an influencer, or does he want to keep fighting? Because honestly, I don't think he's got the spirit in it to keep doing both. Now, I'm just saying that from, like I said, good faith from everybody, honestly, non-biasedly looking at these rankings. But it could show you that, if it goes to the judges' scorecard, Sean Strickland doesn't help his own case. They do not want that guy as a champion. I firmly believe that right now. But that doesn't mean that DDP doesn't have tricks up his sleeve, or he's not going to make adjustments, because when I saw that Israel Adesanya fight, I thought it was going to be Israel Adesanya versus a champion who obviously got the title off of a controversial decision. So I thought that Adesanya was going to win that one. However, DDP surpassed, because he's always evolving. He's always training too. So that's why I said I can't really quite predict this fight either. And that's the crazy part. Is Sean Strickland going to get a finish, or is DDP going to get a finish, or is it going to go to a decision and DDP's probably going to get it because Sean Strickland's mouth gets him into a lot of trouble? I don't know. I can't wait to see this fight, because it's such a nail-biter. Because there's so many factors besides just scorecards and who's throwing punches that are going into it. But like I said, if it had more undercard fights to go with it, I'd have more videos to make this weekend. And honestly, you know what it shows me? I'm not as big of a fan of a sport as I thought. I'm getting my ego checked too. That I got to go deeper into this stuff as the channel goes on. And I promise you I will do that. But, like I said, I can't tell who's going to win. I really can't. Sean's going to have to get a finish, I feel like, if he's going to do it. But I'm glad they're giving Sean Strickland his challenge now, because this is his last chance before Khamzat Chimaev enters the picture, and then he has that belt for what's going to be a really long time, because I think DDP and Sean Strickland both lose to Khamzat, so it's only fair that Sean Strickland, who has fought to stay near the top and had a resurgence after a resurgence, at least has one more shot at the title before it's going to be dominantly taken over. But, I'm going to have to wait and see this one. I just wish there were more really big, high-profile fights on this card. But I'll see if I could think of something to put together throughout this week to keep this machine going. But I'll see you guys on the next one. And you know what? I think it's safe to say that this is probably one of the best middleweight matchups that we're going to see in a while. And like I said, middleweight is at its former glory. Nearly the same glory it was during Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman era. It's back at that. And you know what? Awesome. Because it's matchups like this that remind me of things like that. Like matchups like Bisping versus Sonnen. Tell me that doesn't make it sound familiar. Michael Bisping and DDP, both foreign trash talkers. They have Chael Sonnen and Sean Strickland. All-American, loudmouth, controversial, fight-selling guys. Tell me that isn't a similarity. But I'm going to stop bringing out point after point. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.